all these great ECW memories and these conversations, all thanks to one guy. This guy right here.
Is that a real picture or was his face doctored?
No, that is a real picture.
Why are his eyes bloodshot red?
So they're saying that Paul Heyman deliberately deprived himself of sleep to look more disheveled and add to the reality of the Bloodline story.
On a shoot.
On a shoot. This is what was being reported this past week.
When we worked together, when he was my boss, and I would go up to the studio on Mondays, and I did it several times because either someone I was working with was hurt, usually Shane, and we would have to record promos with Joey Styles Tuesday morning before work, right? Before Joey went to his shoot job. Or I was up there just to learn. I told you I was trying to learn the other end of the business. Paul never really slept that much. And I used to get on him, Paul, you're going to keel over. You're going to die. You need some sleep. And he'd be like, just give me 2-3 hours. I'm good. He used to run on adrenaline or coffee or whatever his thing was. He didn't sleep back then. So I didn't know if they put like drops in his eyes with like a little red dye or no offense, but he looks awful. This is awful.
It's been a great lead up because it's been heavily teased that, he's going to break up with this new Bloodline group. But how are they going to do it? How was it going to happen? And they were at Madison Square Garden this past Friday night. And, they did come to a head. I'll play it for you in a second. But, the paranoia settling in every week of when is it going to happen is what they played into, is that he had to acknowledge Solo as the new tribal chief, and he couldn't sleep. He was, paranoid that it was going to happen at any time. So this is what we got, was this Paul Heyman. He's ready to cry. He's ready to freak out in a second.
Before you played, is it because he feels like he's turning his back on Roman Reigns, who isn't there?
He doesn't feel right that this is all going on without Roman there.
That's what I just said. Okay.
Yeah.
That's my point I'm trying to make. So the new Bloodline, are they a bunch of heel? Is it a heel stable still?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. All right. So here, I'm going to play this for you right here.
Okay.
So this is the first part. I'm going to play 2 parts for you. So this is part 1.
I love you. And I acknowledge that you are not my brother.
Look at Paul turning baby face. What?
Oh my God! Samoan spike to the wise man.
Oh my God!
It takes the bump, but that wasn't it. They all hit him with their finishes.
We talk about that bump. Did you see that bump?
That was not the only one. He took about I think 3 more in the ring.
Did he go through a table?
Oh, he did. That's what I'm going to pull up next.
Has he gained a bit of weight? Just a little bit. Okay.
A little bit.
I hope he's healthy. I really hope he's healthy. Oh.
Hold on, I gotta pull it up on this side.
Look, it had to take 8 people to pick him.
They brought in the crane. And beep, beep. All right, bring it here, boys.
Stop that. No, it just looks like there's 3 people picking him up.
No.
Oh, there we go. His face. Oh, that was a bad landing.
Yeah, that was a little stiff. Look at that. Ready?
Look at his face. Oh, Paul. Good Lord.
Yeah, so he, he's getting physical.
Okay.
Is that the last straw for Roman to come back in storyline? Is that it? Now you have Jacob Fatu, who was the big free agent signing for the Bloodline. So, is this it? And I think that you're positioning Roman now as a huge baby face. And there was even talk of, is this a time now you bring back Brock Lesnar? Could this be a time for Brock? What do you think? You think Brock? You think Brock could? No, I mean they put him back on the alumni page.
So he's not under contract.
I not 100%. I can't confirm that, but he was on the alumni page, or he was in. They had removed him when all the Vince stuff broke, but then they put him back. And I just read something about his daughter. His daughter's college wrestler. She looks exactly like him. So his name's circulating again. So what if Brock was to come back now?
Yeah. Or is Paul sacrificing his body in order to make us think he's not with them? But then when Roman comes back, they all turn on him. That could be a possibility. Did you ever see that?
It's pretty interesting. But
be the sacrificial lamb to make everybody think he turned, and then boom. I don't know.
Pretty interesting. I mean, for Paul to get physical. So even let's go back to ECW. I mean, if he was to interject himself in an angle, always going to be a big deal. We've talked about the Sabu angle where Sabu, no-showed, and then they brought it to TV and turned it into something. But outside of when he was like an active manager on TV, he really didn't interject himself physically into anything.
I remember, oh God, when we were on the stage up top and we were looking down, who was in the ring? Shoot, we did some kind of an angle at the arena and we were all up. Triple Threat was up on the thing and they made me jump on Paul to keep him away from the Triple Threat. And me and him were like going at it. Like, it was ridiculous. Yeah. They showed it on television, but I can't remember if it was Taz or Dream or somebody in the ring. And they were like, oh, Joey's like, oh, look at the Triple Threat. And then like Paul came out and was screaming at Shane and Bammer and Chris and stuff. And then I get in Paul's face and I literally jump on Paul to keep him away. And then everybody starts brawling. It was like, it was ridiculous. Awesome. Yeah, I don't remember. It's out there. I know somebody listening remembers.
Somebody, please, if you're listening, share that, because I don't know why I'm locked on that when I'm not remembering that. But please share that.
I remember jumping.
You remember?
Yeah, I had to. Yeah, I was beating Paul up. But that's the one time I remember the interaction with him. But then, like, he did stuff with Louis Dangerously when Lou was pretending he was Paul. When Lou would come out with the phone, and they did stuff. Paul was always on camera, he always had a presence. And like I said, even though he wasn't a physical talent, he was still part of the roster. Like, I guess you could call him a talent. Physically, I don't, he wasn't managing or anything, but he was the owner of the company and he made his presence known. Just seeing him like that, I don't mean to make fun of him or anything. It just worries me because that picture, he looks absolutely terrible. And maybe, well, he's supposed to because he's worried and all that stuff. But if he's real, like they say, actors do things like, to make the role believable. Yeah, that scares me because how much longer is he going to sacrifice his body for this role? You know what I mean? Like, think of your health. I just hope he's healthy. That's all. Paul, if you're listening or if you have Stooges listening, I just hope you're healthy. That's all I have to say.
Yes, I did not mean forklift joke. That was just a cheap joke.
What was you?
My forklift joke.
Yeah, that was terrible. And when I said 8 people, there were so many people lifting them up. Like there's like 4 people standing there. That's why I said that.
What do you think of this? Somebody is saying this on X. Paul Heyman is the greatest wrestling manager / non-wrestler character ever.
Well, I mean, look at him. He's up there.
But they're saying the greatest. My choice is the guy in the right hand corner.
Bobby Heenan.
Bobby Heenan, without a doubt.
See, I haven't watched any of Paul's stuff. I haven't watched any of it. the only time I just saw what you showed me. I have not been following the Bloodline. I tell you this a million times. I don't know what the story is. I know Roman Reigns left again. I don't know if he left because he's sick. He needed time off. I don't know what his deal is. But I haven't seen anything about Paul. I've heard he's been doing a hell of a job from everybody.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, that's what I've heard, but I haven't really sat down and watched any of it. But now, if I've seen him work before, his stuff from years ago, and watching him in ECW, and so I know he's talented, 100%. But I have not seen his Bloodline character, so I'm sure if I see it, I will be blown away, and I will think it's tremendous. Just looking at this picture, I'm just like,
yeah, he's crying in the one on the right.
I know. He just doesn't look healthy to me, and that scares me. That's all I'm saying. I hope he's healthy.
Yeah, I mean he has gained a considerable amount of weight over the years, and watching the clips, if you see it, but. I mean, it's just guys living a good life.
I hope so. I hope. Listen, I don't make fun of people, weight, whatever. I just look at him. I was looking at him mainly with the red eyes, and I was just like, whoa, it doesn't look good. But he's not supposed to look good. He's supposed to look disheveled and worried, and I understand it. I get why he's doing it. I just hope he's okay. That's all I'm saying. I hope he's okay.
So who's your pick? Greatest non-wrestler? Give me a name. Like I said, I'm going Bobby Heenan. I've been watching a lot of older stuff lately. He is just on another level with that quick wit, and he can move from one thing to the next. And you never. It's funny to find out how much he did off screen too during that run.
Yeah, I couldn't give you a name. I'd have to think about it. I don't know. I don't know.
You also have to disqualify yourself.
Right. I can't say me. Darn.
You can't say yourself.
I don't know. I mean, Paul's been kicking ass, and look what he did with ECW. He might be the choice. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah. There's a lot of talented men and women in this sport, A lot of people who deserve recognition maybe don't get their due diligence. But we won't go into that.